Alright, that street sign at the top lied to us. The Reedy Creek track is still the McDonald Gap track up until here, and then it turns up Reedy Creek going straight ahead, McDonald's track going up over here. This one shows McDonald Track going back behind us, but from the top of the hill it said Reedy Creek. But anyway, so we're back on the McDonald Track. Not far from the end of the track anyhow. Reedy Creek sort of goes way out and around. This one's a little bit windy but more direct, if that makes any sense. I'm in high range first, so it's a little bit bumpy on the way up this hill. The car's doing it okay, but it should really drop down to low range and cruise along it a little bit. I think it's going to be a bit of a drop off too. Whilst I can, with the Toyotas you've got to drop the speed right down, or even stop, or go backwards, to get into low range. But from low to high, you just put it into neutral, wait for a little bit, and then just drop it into high range. So this is the last little section of McDonald Gap track. Goes over the top of Mount Budgie, which I think is just in front of us. Reedy Creek track. There's another extra 2Ks or something on that. But it was actually a very nicely made track, that Reedy Creek one. If I'm doing a film on this track, I might as well just keep going down the track until it ends. That was a bit bad there. There's someone up here, is there? Or is that something else? That can't be a survey marker. How are you supposed to see that in a photograph? Trig point, survey marker. Wow. When they do air surveys and things like that, they use these to line up where the, because it's a known reference point, line up all their air maps and that from that marker there, and they can see it usually from the air. Wow, yeah, look at that drop off I've got to go down. That's crazy. I've got to get down to the bottom of that valley there. Yeehaw. Holy shit, this is steep. I should have taken the Reedy Creek Street. I guess the other thing, oh no, someone's been down here, or up here. Looks like they've tried to go up it and got stuck. I have no idea what that was across the track down the bottom. Big white fluffy bird. These tracks are incredibly steep. Good fun, but wow. Doesn't seem to be. I'm looking at the map again, as you can see by me driving off the road. Doesn't look to be really steep, but it is. Should be Dargo eating something nice. Stocking up on no sugar, Coke. spread they are. They've been bounced around. Should be some left and right turns, and then we'll be back on the bitumen. Steep descent here. There should be a hard right turn coming up. It's almost like a switchback, so it goes around to the left and then hard right and drops down. Right. Looks like someone's dug that up. Probably a drop off there on the left or right. Yep. I'd say someone has tried to come up that track and they've had some good fun. About halfway down. Getting to the bottom, it should be a strip of black rocks that we can drive on. Hopefully we can get straight down onto the road and not have to drive through mud holes and all the rest of the rubbish that was at the start of the other track, Castle, whatever it was, Castle Track. Back off the accelerator a little bit, too many revs. 2.5's fine, I might avoid that. I think there's a big mud hole there. Couldn't even see it over the bonnet. I saw something. I'll just get out and have a look. There's a mud hole on the right. I sort of got a glimpse of that over the bonnet. Could have just driven straight into that. Would have been a bit of an embarrassing thump. Rearrange the back seat again. On the left, not so bad. Still going to be. And one of the things they say, and it's true, if you're going down one of those steep descents and you start to lose the back end and all that, don't brake. Because when you brake, you'll lose the front end as well, and then you'll just be sliding down the hill. What you need to do, it sounds opposite to what you think you should do, is actually accelerate and drive a bit. So I'm doing second gear at low range, just plodding along. If I lose traction and start sliding, just by powering on a little bit, will get me under control, and then I can get all four wheels working properly and hopefully not have a problem. But it does sound crazy when you think you're sliding, you should be putting your brake on, but no, you shouldn't. You need to actually drive out of that slide. Which further have I got to go on this? I can't remember. only got about 6k, 7k's to go, so it's not bad. Can't see a thing there. I'm supposed to go around the left, I think. Yep. 7k's just crawling down this hill. I don't think there's anything like this in WA. Really, it's how steep these tracks are. I've never found one in WA that's like this. Like these tracks. But they're good fun. They do test you. You've got to think about all your driver training and what you've been taught and put it into practice. Otherwise you will end up wrapped around one of those trees, especially if you touch the clutch. If you push that clutch in now, I would end up around one of those two trees there. No worries at all. There was no way you'd be able to steer it out. It's actually a really nice drive down here. It's a bit bumpy, but the scenery, looking out to the sides when you can, is really, really nice. We're a long way up. When I get to the bottom, I'll look at how big the drop is. I think the track's about 10k's long. We're already about halfway along it. Oh, from the top, sorry. So yeah, from here we've only done a k. We've got another about 6k's to go on this particular McDonald Track. But I'll try and find out what the gradient is by third gear, high and low range. Sort of equivalent to first gear. Yeah, we'll get the altitude where we started to drop off and the altitude at the bottom and the distance we've covered to get there. Gives you a gradient, average gradient. There's obviously going to be steeper parts and flat parts like this for a bit. And parts where you end up going back up before you drop off again. This is where I'll probably drop down second again. And then let the engine do its braking and all that sort of stuff. Because I've never been down this track before, I don't know what to expect. A little wide patch because there's a rock there. There's been a car down here recently, but not like today, I don't think. In fact, I think it's come up this track. Almost like a saddle in the spur line. Now we're going up a major hill. I don't know if you can see that in front of me, that goes up pretty steep. And what you come down in, you go up in, so stay in second. And just crawl up this hill. Shouldn't have any problems, but you just never know. For the drop. Still going up. It's supposed to be going down, not up. I want to get down to the valley below. Also watch my engine temperature, it's all quite nice. It's actually quite low. Holy shit, that's a long drop there. Yeehaw. brake occasionally, and then just let the engine do this work. Of course, if you're in an automatic, good luck. Damn, now I've only got a quarter of a tank left. Actually, those little runoff dam drains, whatever you like to call them, the bumps, are actually quite handy. Otherwise you'd be just crawling down a hill, going down, down, down. Whereas you get to these, you get a bit of a break, and you can actually stop on those if you need to rearrange the furniture in the car because it's all been thrown over the front seat, or whatever else. Ooh, this is a switchback, is it? A little sharp turn, but I don't think it's a switchback. The other problem in four-wheel drive is it increases your turning circle. Not quite a switchback, but it's still going down. I'm not even touching the accelerator, I'm just riding the brake a little bit. Ease off the brake. When it starts to go down a little bit fast, just touch the brake again. I could actually go down in first gear and just take my feet off everything, and it will just crawl its way down. It's only bumpy, but it's not bad. Little slips. About 5k's to go. It sort of looks like you're supposed to go straight ahead, but you don't. I suppose the only track that's like this that it was really, really steep. Still going up. About those mounds is you don't know what's on the other side. You just got to hope that there's no big dugout holes or anything there. Now, where does this go? Can't see. Actually got to stick my nose up on the windscreen to see where I was going. Taking me a little longer to get down this track than I was expecting to, but never mind. I'll show you what happens in first gear. This one's pretty steep. Probably not going to do it. It's going to make a liar of me, but I don't know whether you'll hear the wheels slipping. No? Okay. In this section you will. Maybe it was just because it wasn't so rocky. In those rocky patches certainly be wheels skipping everywhere. Made a liar of me. make sure you're in gear at the top before like locking it into gear and then finding out that you haven't actually put it in there, and the whole world turns to crap. As steep as they used to be on the beginning of this track. Certainly they seem to be flattening out a little bit, these climbs. That's alright. Super steep, and it goes up for a long, long way. We've got mobile cover again. Straddle the washouts if you can, and go around the rocks, straddle the rocks. So not too steep, not too big. Should be another turn off around here somewhere, but I want to stick on this track. Off to the right there. Sticks in the road. Let's have a look. No, they go some miles that way. Miles and miles. The way I'm going is probably the better way to go. 1, 2, 3 Ks, and I'm at the black stuff. Go the other way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably about 18 Ks before you get the black stuff. So yeah, keep going the way I'm going. Here's the track sign. The other thing around here we don't have in WA, they put signposts up here and they don't get stolen, which is good, or if they do, they're pretty quick to replace it. But all the tracks are named, they're all on the maps. Killen Climb Track, that sounds enticing. We've got we'll still go down the McDonald Track. Yeah, it's really easy to navigate around here. You want to go down a track, you look for the track sign. Come up to the corner, there'll be a post with a track sign on it. Over in WA, come up to the corner, you have no idea what the track is. Comparing things to WA because I come from WA. And I'm getting messages. And I'm not even going to bother trying to answer them whilst I'm driving downhill. I'm still in third low range. I'm going to brake a fair bit. See if I let it go. It's just a little bit fast. Drop off. What else is in store for us before we get to the end of this track? Driving style. A lot of people just let the wheels spin in their hands and that sort of thing. Going down these hills, and probably the same going up these hills, it's safer and better to use the old push-pull steering. You're not going fast, so you don't need to whip the wheel around. You have much better control when both hands are on the wheel and you just push and pull. Turn just here, and then about, I don't know, 400 metres. Are we there yet? What's the sign say? Domestic firewood collection area. Okay, fair enough. So only a few hundred metres to go. And I'll look home and laugh my ass off if there's a lock gate at the end of this. I'll have to drive all the way back. I love these tree ferns, they're amazing. You can imagine coming up here in the winter. Apart from this track being really shitty to drive on, we're just having the water running off those ferns. Oh, toe ball. Shouldn't be too far. Just another 400 metres. There's a story behind that. To a cattle station with my ex-wife, and I said, how far have I got to go? And she got the map out and said, oh, about 10 k's. So I drove 10 k's and then said, how far have I got to go? So she looked at the map again and said, oh, about 10 k's. So I just grabbed the map and threw it back. When we get there, we get there. worried about is all this runoff's going somewhere. And my luck, there's going to be a dirty great big mud hole at the end of this track. So if you're ever over here, all those people that are over here, that is the McDonald Gap Track. I can see a road down there. And the worst thing you can do is go, oh, there's a road, let's speed up, and all of a sudden there's something in the way and you go smack into it. I thought it was a bitumen road. Maybe it's just around the end here. Sure, it was a bitumen road. Last time I drove it 20 years ago, it was a bitumen road. Okay, neutral, high 4, high 2, second gear, and we'll just drive out. So that's the McDonald Gap Track. If it keeps on going from here, I'm not taking it. Oh, someone with a nice shiny new, shiny Ford Ranger there. Next stop, Dargo, but I won't film it. Definitely a good track to come down. Really good fun going up and down those hills. Something for probably not a beginner driver. I would say that's more of an intermediate to experienced driver for that track. But if you want to take a beginner, as long as you're going in a group, and if you get stuck or have a problem, you can get help. Next stop, Dargo Hotel for dinner.